We obviously talked about a lot of important things over the course of over the past month, but I think what really stuck out to me and what really just like embedded itself in my brain is everything regarding both the rate of incarcerations when it comes to Black people, especially Black men, and just like the systems that are instilled over the course of time, and how like once one ends, another one replaces it, and it's this ongoing cycle that affects Black people, and like it's something that like they can't get out of. I think that was what was really like mind-opening for me, because like unfortunately I was raised, not unfortunately because it does give me different perspectives on a lot of different things, but I definitely was raised in like a household where I didn't always get to see the side of things that we talked about in class. And I was taught that like Black people aren't, incarcerated at higher rates because of their race. They're incarcerated at higher rates because of, the stereotype, and like it's true, and this is how Black people tend to act and stuff like that, and they tend to be more violent. And that's kind of just the way that I was raised. And again, like I can't really blame the people around me, because I think that it has to do with not them being like racist, but it has to do with, just their ignorance, and the fact that like they can't see outside of this bubble that they are focused on, and they haven't been given like the right opportunities to see past it. So for me, understanding that it isn't this pattern of Black people being violent and stuff like that, but it's the pattern of the systems that oppress them. And for me, it's like I finally understand that, once slavery was gone, they instituted Jim Crow laws, and then once Jim Crow laws were like outlawed, they have now instituted like higher rates of incarceration with Black people, and there's always something in place to keep us oppressed. But for me, it's like, now that I understand it, and that it's like it's a very understandable concept, it's so frustrating, because I can't see like what we could do to actually make a change. And so while that like is what stuck out to me, I think what like my biggest hang up with it all is like wanting to make an impact, but not exactly knowing how to make an impact, and feeling like so small in this big like scope, like there's like this big global issue that like I feel like I can't have any sway in. Because to me, like, yes, we're educating people and we're normalizing a lot of things, but unless the people in power make that change, then nothing can really change. And it wasn't until I took this course that I truly understood like not only how it affects other people, but how much like it affects me in my own life. Because while I haven't had like a lot of instances where I've been like, people have been inherently racist towards me, like there are of course things that like I experience in my life that like a white woman wouldn't experience. And I think that just goes to show like how numb we are, and how normalized it is for those little small like acts that people don't really like grasp onto, and they don't really see, but they happen all the time. And kind of its own separate thing, like another way in which like I've like finally like realized how it directly affects me is we were having that conversation on race, and about how like it's a concept, it's a social construct, and why like it should be like dismantled and all this kind of stuff. And we were kind of going back and forth in class about it, and like I was truly like so worked up about it, and like I didn't really understand why until I finally like pieced it together that this does directly affect me. And like I live my life with people like not getting to know who I am entirely, and like who I am as a person, and like the culture, like the details of my culture and stuff like that, because people can't see past the fact that I'm Black. And so I guess the biggest thing that I got out of this course, and like while there was like a lot that I like just learned and like things that I didn't know, the biggest thing like that I got out of this class is that like I want to be able to make a difference like on campus or in other ways like that. And I just think that like because things aren't publicized that well on campus and even like in like daily life, because people try to suppress it and they try not to get it publicized and all this kind of stuff, I feel like it's hard for people who do want to make a change to actually feel like their voice matters. And so coming out of this course, I definitely like now know that like this is something that is important to me, and like I'm going to do the research and I'm going to do what I can to try and have my voice heard and try to have the voices of other people heard, so that way like we can finally see change. And then I just wanted to say thank you to you, Dr. Neighbors, because it takes a really strong person to teach this course and like deal with the conversations that happen and everything like that. But you've done it so gracefully and you've taught me so much, and I'm just really grateful for that.